funny because the person that suggested me as a person I'm mentoring and I'll suggest the person who mentored me. That's going to be a line of, people that have just one mentor the other.
Mina ngiphume where dreams are sent to die, but arrive to find immortality. Where it girls is the flares is right. Amatita pushum sarezo. And passing through its streets are the colors that tell its story. A few weeks ago, Hakeem suggested an interviewee for Colors of My Hood, and I committed to following up on it. Today, I'm happy to report a successful mission. This is Clifford, and...
if you know Clifford, you know very inspirational, humble person that has actually dedicated the last 6 years of his life towards working for a non-profit organization that transforms the lives of young people around Diepsloot as well as neighboring townships.
Well, 6 years of service is quite the commitment. So I asked Clifford to take me back to what started it all.
I think it has to do with my upbringing. I think even through my high school years, I've always had people that just always added a bit of assistance. They've assisted me, they've supported me, they've guided me, and I think that has actually worked towards me also saying, what, let me rather dedicate my life towards ensuring that other people at least have a bit of help or assistance or support to get them to where they want to be. In terms of careers, it could be families, it could be jobs, it could be businesses.
Clifford's motivation makes a lot of sense to me. Having previously enjoyed support and encouragement from other figures of inspiration in his youth, Clifford looking to contribute to the pool of mentorship which nourished his own ambitious spirit. I guess that accounts for what drew him to the Southern Africa Youth Project 6 years ago. But 6 years is a long time. Something else must be keeping him invested in the work he does here.
There's nothing more rewarding than having to train a person and walking into an outlet like McDonald's or Nando's and find a person that you've actually trained working there and saying, hey, this is all through your hard work that I'm actually able to actually, get a job and be able to provide for my family and work towards my career and stuff. So, I've had a lot of people that have come back to me with success stories to say, what you once said in class has actually stayed with me for the rest of my life, and up to now I'm really, really doing good, and it's upon the words that you once inspired me with of saying, it's never too late, no matter how difficult it is and stuff. And as much as we have people that believe in us, then the world is full of possibilities.
I can only imagine the feeling of pride and accomplishment that comes with seeing material changes in the lives and circumstances of students who've been moved by the lessons they've learned at the Southern Africa Youth Project. In fact, I want to hear Clifford's thoughts on the state of development in the broader Diepsloot community.
I think, Mukasi, recently what we seem to be getting right is there's a lot of young people, black young people that are from underprivileged communities that are starting to be entrepreneurs, people that are coming up with innovative ideas and they're shooting for the stars and stuff. I think that's one thing that I respect. In the heart of the community as well, in as much as people are going through a lot of challenges, it's quite amazing as to how you always could continue to get the smiles, people that are just having this welcoming humility at the same time. So, but one thing we're getting right, I believe, it's just that entrepreneurial spirit that's making Diepsloot a respected community and stuff. And I think a person of your kind of as well, the person interviewing me right now, you're doing great, your level of questioning in terms of what you're doing and stuff. We never, I think back in the years, we would have never expected such a thing from a young black African woman, to come up with such and say, what, I'm confident going to do this, I'm going to capture the stories of, ordinary lives of people in Diepsloot and stuff. So I think just the entrepreneurial spirit for me goes a long way and stuff. I respect the people for it.
It's always encouraging to hear that we're on the right track in some respects, and I'm humbled to receive a mention for my small contribution. But although there's some cause for celebration, wisdom reminds us to look at the full picture for an accurate assessment.
I think there's still a long way to go with regards to, I think, perhaps the system that we are living and operating under. When you go back, they also talk about politics a little bit, but just to narrow it down to community level and township level, I think we have corrupt systems, and it's very difficult for you to grow if with the little that you have, maybe a certain capital that you want to start a business with, and you need to basically drive your way through to make it and stuff. Everywhere, wherever you go, you're looking for opportunities and stuff. It's people saying, what do I benefit from it and stuff. So I think That's the one thing we're getting wrong, and we need to also stop playing the blame game and stuff. It's always the government is supposed to do this, the government is supposed to do that, and I think we should be responsible citizens or responsible members of the community that are saying, you know what, if I see that there's a gap, let me take initiative and start something that can at least maybe inspire others, and perhaps also maybe bring about change.
It's quite true that there are many among us who assume a passive role in their own lives, ignoring their own agency and looking to the government for all the solutions, which is why proactive initiatives like the Southern Africa Youth Project are so important. They should be protected, supported, and celebrated because their growth is ours.
Well, for Southern African Project, I mean, we are becoming we actually are a global institution at the point. We are doing quite great. I think despite the challenges that came with COVID and stuff, we still managed to reach high numbers. We've impacted the lives of young people. We've kept them hopeful. Most have also gotten jobs, even after others have, lost jobs and stuff.
Clifford's incredible description of the growing impact of the Southern Africa Youth Project leads me to ask which areas of potential he's identified in our community.
Diepsloot in the next 10 years, I think I see it as a developed suburb and stuff, because there's a lot of commercial businesses that are come pouring into Diepsloot and stuff, and so there's going to be a lot of opportunities for young people, and there's going to be a lot of inspiration coming out, and with these businesses also slowly starting figuring out of Diepsloot and stuff, it's going to be, I think, quite amazing. We are slowly making a name for the township.
While we're on the topic of commercial businesses, I'm excited to find out that Clifford has his own business endeavors.
For myself, I just recently registered a business. I actually have two businesses. One provides consulting services. It's called Clifford Incorporated, and I have another one that trades in the oil-based fisheries as well under Clifford Sense and again presented. This is actually a brand that I've developed this year and stuff. So I think in the next 10 years, is just to actually take those two businesses, scale them up, and be one of the, perhaps I'm hoping, be one of the respected as well as maybe more successful, businessman from the heart of Diepsloot. But all this would basically to provide opportunities for young people, continue to inspire and serve within a non-profit organization such as Southern Africa.
I have to say, I'm quite impressed to see that Clifford's earlier appreciation of a growing entrepreneurial spirit amongst our youth comes from a personal recognition of its importance and manifests itself in his various business ventures. It goes without saying that I'm absolutely here for it. Present! Another thing I'm here for are the answers to those two all-important questions, beginning with the ideal place for young people to hang out.
Especially for young people, the best hangout spot at the moment, I think, let me see, there's Polar Park at Extension 6. There's also Shoes at Extension 2 where they sell best food. I think those are things, according to me, are the best chill out spots. Shoes is at the top, and she's versatile and she cooks. You'd have your more like vibrant corporate, elite meals. She'd have local everything. She can spice up everything for you. Local gasi, bunny chows and stuff. She has everything and stuff. So according to me, top of the notch. Service as well. And the food is quite tasty.
Although we've heard a great food report about a shudu in the series before, on account of the different location that Clifford describes, it doesn't seem to be the same place. So this is another spot for us to check out. Jump on Instagram to follow the Colors of My Hood page to keep up with all my visits in search of the best food egas. And of course, I can't let Clifford go before I find out who he would suggest I interview next.
So, the founder of the organization, Muthali, I think he's quite an inspirational person. He started the organization at the tender age of 40, and now it has actually transformed to become a global institution and stuff, and he still continues to afford opportunities to young people such as myself, because I started off as a volunteer and stuff, and then he trained me, guided me, he mentored me, challenged me and stuff, and brought out this, untapped power within me, my potential and stuff. He made me realize a lot that everything I was capable of before and stuff, So I think he'd be the perfect person to interview next and stuff. He's one person that has grown so much, but yet has remained very humble and stuff. So it's one lesson that I've picked from him to say, it matters not how big you get, it matters not how many zeros you have after one number. So, but in as much as you make six figures or so not, it's important to remain humble, remember where you come from, and know that the people that you've trained or you've assisted are the people that have gotten you to where you are. So Muthali might be a person to interview.
So, having been suggested by his own mentee, Hakeem, Clifford suggests his mentor, someone who's inspired him and changed his worldview. And as the rule goes, I will follow up on this suggestion to see if I can have a conversation with Mr. Muthali Malaji. I'm quite excited for this one. So subscribe to my YouTube channel to see that and other upcoming content. Remember that Instagram is always the first to know when a new upload is on its way. So be sure to follow @colorsofmyhood_official on Instagram. The link to that will be in the description box for your convenience. After my conversation with Clifford, I must admit I'm really impressed at the caliber of youth who serve at the Southern Africa Youth Project. I'm excited to see the growth of this organization, as well as its individual members. And if what I've seen thus far is anything to go by, I'm confident that Ikusasa Lekatletu is in very capable hands.
Sweet or salty?
Sweet.
Lay's or Doritos?
Doritos.
Spring or autumn?
Spring.
Morning or evening?
Morning, guys.
Sandals or sneakers?
Sneakers.
Tomato sauce or mayonnaise?
Tomato sauce.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Indoors or outdoors?
Outdoors.
CD or DVD?
DVD.
Cash or card?
Both.
You have to pick one.
Well, card.
Okay. Yes or no?
Yes.